Hello again, dear friends. This is Lucy Vane, and you're listening to Memory Radio, where the past isn't just remembered, it's quietly felt. Tonight's story isn't a celebration. Not exactly. It's a question disguised as a party hat. It's a memory wrapped in wrapping paper that feels too clean, too scripted. This is Bart's birthday, but it doesn't feel like any birthday before. Bart wakes up to bird song, not the squawking of Springfield's usual chaos, but a serene melody, sweet, soft, suspicious. The sun filters perfectly through his window blinds. His alarm clock doesn't scream. It whispers. He blinks. Something's off. Downstairs, the house is clean. Impossibly clean. The kitchen smells like pancakes, syrup, and something else, order. Mudge no, Mara is already up, hair flawless, dress spotless, smile to calm. She hums a tune that doesn't feel real. Happy birthday, Brent, she says. Brent, what everyone calls Bart, now narrows his eyes. He glances at the family photo on the wall. The frame is straight, just straight. The picture has no cracks, no fingerprints. The version of them in the photo is smiling, polished, permanent. Then comes the first gift. A brand new skateboard, perfectly wrapped. Red bow, card attached. But Bart hasn't said he wanted a new skateboard in years. Not since the last one broke during a race with Millhouse or Mills, as he somehow know now. He opens the card. To Brent, you've always been special. Enjoy your day. Love, everyone, everyone. The school bus arrives, on time, down to the second. The driver greets him by name, smiling politely. No shouting, no honking. No Ralph chewing glue in the corner. Just perfect kids, perfectly lined up, with perfect backpacks. At school, Principal Skang gives him a laminated certificate for excellence in unpredictability. The students clap. Even Miss Crablin nods approvingly from behind her desk. But Bart doesn't feel seen. He feels watched. At lunch, Brent sits with Lisa. She's wearing her usual red dress, pearl necklace, eyes focused, but distant as if she's reading from a script written inside her skull. Do you feel weird? Brent finally asks. Lisa looks at him. It's your birthday. Everything is supposed to be special. But it feels fake, he whispers. Lisa pauses, then nods. Just once. Almost like the real Lisa breaking through. That night, the town throws a birthday party. Not a regular one. A massive event in the town square. Balloons. Cake taller than Chief Wibbon. And people he doesn't even know. That's when it starts. John Cena arrives first. In a limo. Waves like he belongs here. Then Tom Hanks, Danny DeVito, Seth Rogen, Conan O'Brien. All of them smiling. All of them saying things like, "You've come so far, Brent." It's been quite the run, hasn't it? We're just here to say goodbye, Brent stares. Goodbye, he runs home. The door creaks in a way it never has. The carpet feels more like a backdrop. The bookshelf, slightly faded, reveals its edges like a painted wall in a set. He finds Mara in the kitchen, smiling with quiet sadness. Is this real? He asks. Mara brushes back a strand of her towering hair. What part of it feels unreal? Brent doesn't know how to answer. Maybe it's how everyone's treating him like today matters more than any other. Maybe it's how nothing has gone wrong. Where's Harlan? He asks. In the garage, Mara says. He's fixing something. Brent opens the door to the garage. Harlan is there, wiping grease off his hands. But there's no car. Just a single object on a pedestal, a snow globe of Springfield. Inside, the house, the school, the bar, the donut shop. And right there, tiny and frozen Brent, mid-skate, smiling. Is that us? Brent whispers. Harlan looks up. It's everything we've ever been. Everything anyone's ever watched. Brent swallows. The word watched hits different now. Are we even real? Harlan smiles, sad but kind. We're something better. We're remembered. Back upstairs, the lights flicker. Not like an electrical glitch, but like a cue. A transition. Brent walks slowly through each room. He touches the couch, the TV remote, the photo wall, and each one feels like a goodbye. He ends the day standing at the window, watching snowfall. Lisa joins him. Still feel weird? She asks. He nods. But I think I understand it now. Lucy Vane's voice returns, soft and reflective. And maybe that's the point, dear listener. Some days feel too perfect, too scripted, too much like endings we didn't write. But even in those moments, there's a kind of grace, a kind of peace. Because endings aren't just goodbyes. They're acknowledgements. They're soft thank yous. They're the closing of a door you once walked through every day. Bart or Brent didn't wake up to a normal birthday. He woke up to a memory preparing to let go. And that, my dear friend, is sometimes the most beautiful gift of all. Brent wakes up again, but this time it's not the bird song. It's silence. Absolute, perfect, unsettling silence. He sits up slowly. Outside his window, Springfield is still motionless, like a painting. The sky has no clouds, no sun. Just empty white, waiting to be filled. In the kitchen, the clock doesn't tick. Mara stands frozen, mid-motion, holding a spatula above a pan. Brent watches carefully, noticing the smallest tremble in her hand like a video paused mid-frame. Something feels broken. "Mom!" Brent calls softly, hoping her reaction will ease his rising anxiety. She doesn't turn. Instead, her voice comes out quietly, uncertainly. "This isn't how we rehearsed it." Brent freezes. "What rehearsal?" Mara turns slowly, movement stilted, eyes gentle yet worried. "This," she says, gesturing around. "All of this. It was supposed to be your perfect birthday." "But why?" Brent whispers. She smiles softly, her eyes glistening. "Because you deserved an ending." His chest tightens. Ending. Stepping outside, Brent finds Springfield deserted, the town square empty. Tables from yesterday's party are set perfectly, untouched cakes, balloons floating aimlessly, frozen midair. It's as if the entire town is a set, abandoned after a shoot. Then comes the laughter. Familiar laughter. Nell Flanner, Chief Wibbon, Warren Smithers, each voice like an echo, soft and distant. Following the sound, Brent reaches the movie theater. Lights flicker gently, welcoming him. Inside, the room is empty except for a single seat, perfectly centered. As Brent sits, the screen flickers to life, projecting scenes from his own life. Moments he remembers and moments he doesn't. The audience appears around him: John Cena, Tom Hanks, Danny DeVito, Conan O'Brien, all silent, watching the screen intently. "This can't be happening," Brent whispers. "But it is," says a gentle voice from beside him. Brent turns, startled, seeing himself, or rather, a grown version of himself. Tall, reflective, calm, eyes that have seen things, that have understood things. Who are you?" Brent stammers. "I'm the version of you that exists in every viewer," the man answers softly. "The version of you that grew up, that moved away, but still thinks about Springfield. The one who knows endings aren't really endings." On screen, scenes shift seamlessly. Brent's first skateboard ride, Marla's hugs, Harlan's laughter, Lysa playing saxophone, Mimi's first steps. Each moment gentle, bittersweet. "It feels real," Brent murmurs. "It is," older Brent says. "It's as real as any memory. And memories are all we truly have." The lights dim further. Scenes shift again, showing episodes Brent never saw: Springfield's future, Marla older, Harlan graying, Lysa famous, Mimi grown. Life continuing without him. "Is this what happens after?" Brent asks quietly. "This is possibility," older Brent says gently. "These are things that haven't happened yet. But they're things that could. But how can it be real if it hasn't happened?" Brent argues softly, confused. Older Brent smiles warmly. Reality isn't always about what's happened. Sometimes, it's about how deeply we feel something, how much it shapes us, even if it's just a story. The projection pauses on a final image, Brent's family sitting quietly around the dinner table. Nothing special, just them, just being together. And for some reason, Brent's eyes blur. "Why does this feel like a goodbye?" Brent asks. Older Brent places a comforting hand on his shoulder. "Because it is. But it's also a beginning. It's every moment someone remembers us, every time someone smiles because of something we did. That's real, Brent. Maybe the most real thing there is." The theater fades, leaving Brent alone again, standing under the flickering marquee lights. Springfield slowly returns to motion around him, as if nothing had ever paused. People laugh again, cars drive, birds sing. But Brent knows something has shifted. At home, he sits quietly in his room, thinking about the strange, impossible day. Lisa knocks gently at his door, stepping in with her saxophone. She sits beside him, not playing, just holding the instrument quietly. "You saw it, didn't you?" she whispers. Brent nods. "It felt real," Lisa says gently. "But it was like seeing my life from someone else's perspective. Like we were always characters in a story." "Maybe we were," Brent says softly. "But does it matter? We live those stories." Lisa smiles gently, understanding perfectly. "We did, and I think we still will." Downstairs, dinner is quiet and ordinary. Mara serves pasta, Helen laughs at something on TV, Mimi giggles softly, spoon tapping rhythmically against her bowl. Everything normal, everything real. Brent watches quietly, absorbing each sound, each glance. He realizes this is all he's ever needed. And when the evening closes softly, he finds himself standing once again by the snow globe, watching tiny flakes fall gently over miniature Springfield. Helen's voice breaks the silence softly behind him. "You know, memories don't end. They just move around, settling gently in corners we forget. Then we never really say goodbye." Brent whispers, hopeful. "No," Helen says. "We just thank each other quietly and keep going." Brent holds the snow globe carefully. The tiny figures inside, frozen mid-laugh, remind him of every joy, every small heartbreak, every moment that made them who they were. "Maybe we're not just remembered," Brent says thoughtfully. "Maybe we're shared. Maybe we live on every time someone tells our story." Helen nods, eyes gentle, reflecting wisdom hidden beneath simplicity. "Then let's make it a good story." And so, dear listener, what if endings are never truly endings? What if they're just quiet transitions, doors softly closing, memory shifting from one heart to another? Bart or Brent learned something important on his strangest birthday. He learned the power of stories. That even if you're just words or drawings or someone's imagination, you matter because someone listened. Someone cared enough to remember. Maybe Springfield was always real, just in a different way. Real enough to laugh with. Real enough to grow up with. Real enough to cry quiet tears for. Endings. They're not final pages, just pauses. Moments to close our eyes and whisper thank you. To acknowledge that every goodbye is just a quiet promise, "I'll see you again." And perhaps, dear listener, that's the greatest comfort of all. Knowing that our stories never vanish completely. They just find new voices, new ears, new hearts to call home. Good night, my friends. May your memories stay warm, and your goodbyes gentle. I'm Lucy Vane, and you've been listening to Memory Radio. Until we meet again, remember, we never truly say goodbye. We just thank each other quietly and keep going.